students. This is English language. Today we are looking at adjectival phrase and its grammatical functions. Last time we talked about noun phrase and its grammatical functions. Then I told you the definition of a phrase and as well as the definition of noun phrase. So for us to look at adjectival phrase today, we must know what, I hope you still remember what a phrase is. As a reminder, let me just tell you, a phrase is a group of words without a finite verb which functions as a part of speech. So today we are looking at adjectival phrase and its grammatical functions. Definition. Adjectival phrase is a group of words without a finite verb that does the work of an adjective in a sentence. An adjectival phrase is a group of words without a finite verb that does the work of an adjective in a sentence. That is, it qualifies or gives more information about the noun or the pronoun in a sentence. That's the work of an adjective. For you to know what an adjectival phrase is, you must understand what or know what an adjective is. The only difference between an adjective and adjectival phrase is that adjective is just only one word, while adjectival is more than one word. So your adjective gives more information or qualifies a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. So therefore, the adjectival phrase qualifies or gives more information about the noun or pronoun in a sentence. Adjectival phrase can qualify subject, which is a noun, or the object, which is also a noun, and may begin with a preposition or a participle. Your adjectival phrase can qualify the subject or the object. You remember that the subject is the performer of the action, while the object is the receiver of the action. So what we are saying in essence is that your adjectival phrase can either qualify the subject or qualify the object in a sentence. Adjectival phrase usually starts with adjective and ends with a noun, right? For example, let's look at this. The tough, brilliant boy solved the problem. The tall, brilliant boy solved the problem. Here, tall, brilliant is the adjectival phrase, and it qualifies the noun boy. It qualifies the noun boy. So, if you look at this example, you see that tall, brilliant is giving us more information about the noun boy. So, tall, brilliant is an adjectival phrase. Now, we're going to look at so many examples of adjectival phrases and their grammatical functions. Remember, I told you earlier on that your grammatical name is the GN, while the grammatical function, which is the GF, is the function that that item is performing in the sentence. So the first example, example 1, the man in the blue shirt is the secretary. The man in the blue shirt is the secretary. The underlined expression here is the in the blue shirt. In the blue shirt. So the GN is adjectival phrase, and the GF is it qualifies the noun. Have you seen the noun? It qualifies. That is the man. Man is the noun that is qualifying here. So you write it out. You write out the noun that is qualifying, which is man. Remember the way we wrote out the verbs under the noun phrase? So you have to write out the noun as you have it in the sentence. Example 2 now. Example 2. The coat made of cotton is very lovely. The coat made of cotton is very lovely. The GN of the underlined expression here is adjectival phrase. And the GF is it qualifies the noun coat. The noun that's the underlined expression here qualified is coat. So example 3. The boy selling bread is my brother. The boy selling bread is my brother. The GN of the underlined expression is adjectival phrase, and the GF is it qualifies the noun boy. Look at the noun there, boy. It is giving us, that expression, selling bread, is giving us more information about the noun, which is boy. Another example, example 4. A friend in need is a friend indeed. The underlined expression here is in need. So the GN is adjectival phrase. The GF is it qualifies the noun friend. Here is telling us the type of friend. So it's giving us more information about the noun, which is friend. So that's all that I can take on adjectival phrase. Just have it in mind that your adjectival phrase does the work of an adjective, and that is giving more information about a noun or pronoun in a sentence, right? So the next topic is adverbial. Adverbial phrase and its grammatical functions. Adverbial phrase and its grammatical function. Just like your adjectival, adverbial phrase is the same thing as your adverb. The difference is that the adverb is just only one word, while your adverbial phrase is more than one word. Can be 2 words, can be 3, can be 4 words, right? But they are doing both adverbial phrase and adverb. They are performing the same function, and that is to give more information or to modify your verb. To modify your verb. Now let's look at the definition of adverbial phrase. An adverbial phrase modifies a verb, right? An adverbial phrase modifies a verb. It does the work of an adverb. In a sentence, what is the work of an adverb? That is to give you more information about a verb, or to give you more information about another adverb, or to give you more information about another adverb, right? So that is the work of your adverbial phrase. Your adverbial phrase answers the question why, where, when, and how. Adverbial phrase answers the question why, where, when, and how. Now we're going to look at different types of adverbial phrases with examples. Just as we have different types of adverbs, right? You know, we have different types of adverbs. Can you still remember some of them? Like adverbial phrase of manner, adverbial phrase of place, adverbial phrase of time, adverbial phrase of reason, and so on and so forth. So as we have different types of adverbials, so do we have different types of adverbial phrases. Now, let's look at them. The first on my list here is adverbial phrase of time. Your adverbial phrase of time shows when an action takes place. That is, it answers the question when. It shows when an action takes place. Therefore, it answers the question when. For example, example 1, I met my friend yesterday evening. I met my friend yesterday evening. The GN, the underlined word here, the underlined expression here is yesterday evening. So the GN is adverbial phrase of time. The of time you put in brackets. It is not mandatory that you put the time, but you must know whether it's adverbial phrase or adjectival phrase or noun phrase. The of time is optional. Whether you put it or not, it won't affect your mark. Then the GF, grammatical function, it modifies the verb. So where is the verb that it modifies there? Look at the sentence. Can you point to the verb there? That is the verb met. So you write it out. It modifies the verb met. You write out the verb as you have it in the sentence. Another example, example 2. See under adverbial phrase of time. I hope to see you very soon. I hope to see you very soon. The underlined expression here is very soon. The GN is adverbial phrase of time. You see the of time in brackets. You may put, you may not put. If you know the type, put it. But if you are not sure of the type, you just leave it. Just write adverbial phrase. You won't be penalized for that. Then the GF, is it modifies the phrase hope to see. You can see that this one is more than one word, the verb that we have here, and that's why we are putting it in form of phrase. It modifies the phrase hope to see. You write it out as you have it in the sentence. The second type now is adverbial phrase of place. This one indicates where an action takes place. This type of adverbial phrase answers the question where. That is, it indicates where an action takes place. For example, example 1, we ate together in the house. The underlined expression here is in the house. So the GN is adverbial phrase of place. As usual, the type is optional. So that's why we have it in brackets. Whether you put it or not, it doesn't matter. But if you are sure, you can put it. So the GF is, that is the grammatical function. It modifies the verb. Let's go back to the sentence and point out to the verb. The verb is ate. So you write it out as you have it in the sentence. It modifies the verb ate. So another example under adverbial phrase of place, we have this, number 2. My brother lives in the city. My brother lives in the city. The GN is adverbial phrase of place. Then the GF is it modifies the verb lives. It modifies the verb lives. You write out the verb as you have it in the sentence. So the next type of adverbial phrase now is number 3, adverbial phrase of reason. Adverbial phrase of reason shows why an action, the reason why an action takes place. That's the function of adverbial phrase of reason. It answers the question why, right? For example, example 1, I went to the hospital on account of my ill health. I went to the hospital on account of my ill health. The underlined expression here is on account of my ill health. So the GN is adverbial phrase of reason. And the GF is it modifies the verb. Look for the verb in the sentence, which is went. So you write it out. The second example, I went there with the hope of seeing her. With the hope of seeing her. That's the underlined expression. The GN is adverbial phrase of reason. And the GF is it modifies the verb went. Okay? So another type is adverbial phrase of manner. Adverbial phrase of manner. This one indicates how an action takes place. That is, it answers the question how, right? The way and manner by which the action takes place. For example, example 1, she spoke to me in a subtle way. She spoke to me in a subtle way. In a subtle way is the underlined expression. The GN is adverbial phrase of manner is optional. Then the GF is it modifies the verb spoke. It modifies the verb spoke, right? So the second type, the second example here, the lady danced with grace. With grace is the underlined expression here. We are saying the way and manner by which the lady danced. So the GN is adverbial phrase of manner, and the GF is it modifies the verb danced. Then the next one, another type now, is adverbial phrase of purpose. This one indicates the purpose of an action. For example, Bola studied very hard in order to have good grades. So the GN is adverbial phrase. The GF is it modifies the verb studied. Another example, I ran in order to catch the train. In order to catch the train is an adverbial phrase, and the function is it modifies the verb ran. Then the next one is adverbial. This is the last one, adverbial phrase of concession. This one, it is used with although, despite, notwithstanding, in spite of, etc., to indicate the opposite of expected action. That is to express contrasting ideas. We use adverbial phrase of concession to express two contrasting ideas. For example, example 1, despite his parents' wealth, he is a debtor. Despite his parents' wealth, he is a debtor. You can see that we are having two contrasting ideas here. Then example 2, she follows them, although reluctantly. Are you seeing two contrasting ideas? So these are the various types of adverbial phrases. So today we're going to look at assessments. We have we have different types of phrases there. So you have to give the grammatical names and functions of each of the underlined phrases in the following sentences. Give the grammatical name and function of each of the underlined phrases in the following sentences. I have about 8 sentences here. So you look at them, you write the GN, and the GF under each of them. You can forward your answers to the address on your screen. And if you have any question, you are free to forward them as well. Thank you.